Hello students, I am Prakashi Gangwani from Regional Institute of Education, Bhopal. I am a student of B.Ed, Language and Social Sciences. Students, today we are going to study chapter 8 of your supplementary book, that is The Bear Story. It is a very interesting story which is written by the writer Axel Munthe. So before starting this story, let me just tell you that this story has a very interesting and a surprising end. You will be surprised after listening the story. So, there was once a lady who lived in an old manor house, a very large house with huge walls, on the border of a big forest, means that was at the edge of a forest. This lady had a pet bear. She was very fond of her. It had been found in the forest, half dead of hunger. He was so small and helpless that it had to be brought up on the bottle by the lady and the old cook. The difficult words in the above text are manor house, that means a large country house with hands. This happened several years ago, and now it had grown up into a very big bear. He was very big and very strong, that he could have even slain a cow. That means he could have killed a cow and carried it away between his two paws if he had wanted to. But he did not want to do any such of thing. He was a very amiable bear, very friendly bear. He did not dream of harming anybody, a man or a beast. The difficult words in the above text are slain, that means kill in a violent way. Amiable, that means friendly. He used to sit outside his kennel and look with his small intelligent eyes with most amicably at the cattle gazing in the field nearby. The three shaggy mountain ponies, means the ponies that huge thick hair. They knew him very well and did not mind in the least when he shuffled into the stable with his mistress. The difficult words in the above text are amicably, that means in a friendly way. Next is shaggy, that means having long thick hair or fur. Next is shuffled, that means walk by dragging one's feet along. The next word is mistress, that means a woman in position of control. The children used to ride on his back and had more than once been found asleep in his kennel between his two paws. The three dogs loved to play all sorts of game with him. They pull his hair and stump of a tail and tease him in every possible manner. But he did not mind that at least. He had never tasted meat. He ate the same food as the dogs and often on the same plate. Bread, porridge, potato, cabbage, turnip, etc. The difficult words in the above text are stamp, that means the small projecting remnant of something that has been cut or broken off or worn away. The next word is porridge, that means a dish containing cereal boiled in water or milk. He had a very fine appetite because he was a bear, and his friend, the cook, she saw to it that he got his stomach filled. Bears are usually vegetarians if they have a chance, and fruit is what they like the best. In the autumn, he used to sit and look with his wistful eyes at the ripening apples in the orchard. And in his young days, he had been sometimes unable to resist the temptation to climb up the tree and help himself to get a handful of them. The difficult words in the above text are resist, that means endure or bear. The next word is temptation, that means the desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise. Bears look clumsy and slow in their movements, but try a bear with an apple tree and you will soon find out that he can easily beat any schoolboy in that game. Now he had learned that it was against the law, but he kept his small eyes wide open for any apples that fell to the ground. The difficult words in the above text are clumsy, that means awkward in movement or in handling things. There had also been some difficulties about the beehives. He had been punished for this by being put on a chain for 2 days with a bleeding nose, and he had never done that again. There had also been difficulties about the beehives. He had been punished for this by being put on the chain for 2 days with a bleeding nose, and he had never done that again. Otherwise, he was never put on chain, except for the night, and quite rightly. Like a dog and a bear, they opt to get somewhat ill-tempered if kept on the chain, obviously. The difficult words in the above text are ill-tempered, that means irritable or grumpy. He was also put on the chain on Sundays when his mistress went to spend the afternoon with her married sister who lived in a solitary house on the other side of Mountain Lake, a good 1 hour walk through the dense forest. It was not supposed to be good for the bear to wander about in the forest with all its temptation. It was better to be on the safe side. The difficult words in the above text are solitary, that means existing alone. He was also a bad sailor and had once taken such a fright at a sudden gust of wind that he had upset the boat and he and his mistress had to swim to the shore. Now he knew quite well what it meant when his mistress put him on the chain on Sundays with a very friendly tap on his head and the promise of an apple on her return if he had been good during her absence. The difficult words in the above text are fright, that means a sudden intense feeling of fear. Next is gust of wind, that means a rush of wind. He was sorry but resigned, like a good dog, when his mistress tells him he cannot come with her for a walk. One Sunday, when the lady had chained him up as usual and was about halfway through the forest, she suddenly thought she heard the cracking of a tree branch on the winding footpath behind her. The difficult words in the above text are resign, that means to accept something unpleasant that one cannot do anything about. The next word is winding, that means turning. She looked back and was horrified to see bear coming along full speed. Bears look as if they move along quite slowly, but they shuffle along much faster than a trotting horse. In a minute he had joined her, panting and sniffing to take up his usual place, dog fashion, at her heels. The difficult words in the above text are trotting, that means proceed at a pace faster than a walk. The next word is sniffing, that means to draw air audibly through nose. The lady was very angry. She was already late for lunch. There was no time to take him back home. She did not want him to come with her, and besides, it was very naughty of him to have disobeyed her. She told the bear in her severest voice to go back at once, menacing him with a parasol. The difficult words in the above text are menacing, that means suggesting the presence of danger or threatening, means a light umbrella. He stopped a moment and looked at her with his cunning eyes, but did not want to go back and kept on sniffing at her. When the lady saw that he had even lost his new collar, she got still more angry and hit him on the nose with her parasol so hard that it broke into two. The next word is parasol, that means a light umbrella used to give shade from the sun. He stopped again, shook his head and opened his big mouth several times as if he wanted to say something. Then he turned round and began to shuffle back the way he had come, stopping now and then to look at the lady till at last she lost the sight of him. When the lady came home in the evening, the bear was sitting in his usual place, outside his kennel, looking very sorry for himself. The lady was still very angry. She went up to him and began to scold him most severely and said, He would have to be chained for 2 more days. The old cook, who loved the bear as if he had been her son, rushed out of the kitchen very angry. "What are you scolding him for, mistress?" said the cook. "He has been good as gold the whole day, bless him. He has been sitting here quite still on his haunches, as meek as an angel, looking the whole time towards the gate for you to come back." "Oh, that means the bear she met in forest was a wild bear and not her own bear. Oops, you're also surprised from the end?" Students, what did you learn from this story? The bear story teaches us that we must always react with open eyes in order to avoid any wrong decision making. We should not judge anyone without listening to them. Let us now move towards the textbook exercise of this chapter. The first question that we have is, where did the old lady find the bear cub? How did she bring it up? So, the lady found the bear cub in the forest. It was brought up on the bottle because it was almost dead due to hunger and was so small and helpless. The second question we have is, the bear grew up but he was most amiable bear, means the friendly bear. Can you give 3 examples to prove this? Yes, the 3 examples to prove that the bear grew up but was most amiable bear. First, he did not even dream of harming anybody, no man or beast. He looked with his small, intelligent eyes most affectionately at the cattle grazing in the field nearby. And the third example is, the children used to ride on his back and he never harmed them. The third question we have is, what did the bear eat? There were 2 things he was not allowed to do. What were they? He ate the same food as the dogs and often out of the same plate, like bread, porridge, potato, cabbage, turnip, etc. He liked fruit the best. 2 things he was not allowed to do were to climb up trees for his favorite apples and to get the beehives. He could have stung by them. The fourth question we have is, when was the bear tied up with a chain and why? So he was tied up with chain whenever he did a mischief. He was also chained during nights and on Sundays when his mistress went to spend the afternoon with her married sister. It was done because it was not good for him to wander about in the forest with all his temptations. He was better to be on the safer side. The fifth question we have is, what happened one Sunday when the lady was going to her sister's house? What did the lady do? What was the bear's reaction? So one Sunday, when the lady was going to her sister's house, she saw a bear coming behind her in the forest in full speed. Thinking that it was her bear, she scolded him and told him to go back as she did not want him to come with her. She became very angry when she saw that the bear had lost his new collar and hit him on his nose with her parasol. The bear opened his mouth several times as if he wanted to say something and looked at her with his cunning eyes. After that, it turned around and went on its way. The sixth question we have is, why was the bear looking sorry for himself in the evening? Why did the cook get angry with her mistress? So, the bear was looking sorry for himself in the evening because he had been chained for the whole Sunday and was looking for his mistress without doing any mischief. The cook got angry with her mistress because she was scolding the bear for no mistake of his. He had been sitting there quite still on his haunches as meek as angel, looking all the time while towards the gate for the mistress to come back. Now I will be giving you 2 questions that you have to discuss with your friends, with your parents and with your teachers. The first question is, The second bear did not attack the lady because he was afraid of her. Do you agree? And the second question is, most people keep dogs and cats as their pets. Can you and your friends think of some unusual pets that people keep, like a bear? Do discuss. So, students, that was all about the bear story. I hope you understood it well. Discuss this with your friends, teachers, and parents. That is it for today. We will meet next time with the next story. Till then, stay safe. Have a nice day. Thank you.